The next article I wanted to talk about is titled Christian Evangelist President Joe Biden Doesn't Exist. This is by Hemant Mehta on the Friendly Atheist website. And I've actually covered this article before. The article isn't exactly what I wanted to talk about. I was going to use the article to remind you of this whole situation, and then we're going to watch some clips by Robin Bullock that he just put out recently, just like a few days ago. So let's read the article and see what this had to say. Televangelist Robin Bullock, who said last November that the COVID crisis could be blamed on people who voted for Hillary Clinton, is going even crazier on his political ideas. He said last week that not only is Donald Trump still president, President Joe Biden doesn't exist. Now, when I originally heard this, I thought to myself, maybe that's kind of an unfair interpretation. Let's listen to the clip. Let's listen to Robin Bullock use his own words and see if that's actually what he meant.
The Lord told me, he said, Joe Biden will not be president. He'll not be president.
Weird, because this clip came out in February. Joe Biden had been president for at least a month at this point. I think it was February 18th when this came out. I could be wrong on that date. Mid-February anyways. So what happened? Kind of dropped the ball on that one, huh? You going to admit you're wrong, or are you going to come up with some bullshit excuse like every other supposed prophet?
I'm going to tell you something, brother. And people say, yeah, but he's in the office, but he's not the president. He's not recognized as the president.
Oh, he decided to go the bullshit excuse route. Okay.
He'll never be recognized as the president. Heaven does not know him as the president. See, you can pray for the office of the president. You can pray for a man named Joe Biden, but you cannot pray for President Joe Biden because he doesn't exist.
Boom, right there, because he doesn't exist. Now, some people heard that, namely Hemant Mehta, and they were like, that's kind of weird, right? Is Robin Bullock saying Joe Biden does not exist? Let's be super extra charitable here, okay? Maybe he meant he doesn't exist as president. He's not saying Joe Biden, the human being, doesn't exist, right? I mean, that's not the message he's trying to communicate to us. But then this came out.
You can pray for a man named Joe Biden. You should. Don't get off in hate. You should pray. Okay? You can pray for the office of the president, but you cannot pray for President Joe Biden, because you might as well pray for the Easter Bunny, because he don't exist.
Okay, now that was fairly specific and clear, right? He's saying Joe Biden is like the Easter Bunny. He does not exist. Is he saying that Joe Biden literally isn't a person that's alive and breathing, like he's not real?
And there's no anointing. And if you celebrate it or congratulate him, you've entered into his sin.
Oh, that's kind of fucking weird to me. It seems pretty fucking weird. If that doesn't convince you, I've got another clip for you. This clip might have come out on the podcast channel. It might have come out on the main channel. I'm not sure. It probably came out before this clip that we're watching now, though. So look around on my channel and see if you can find it if you're interested. This is Larry Gators. We talked about this guy in the last clip. Let's listen to what he said.
Tom Hanks is dead. Newsflash. Tom Hanks is dead.
That's right.
Okay. Joe Biden is dead.
Yes,
okay.
come on. You took the shot.
Clintons are dead. Okay.
Huh, that's weird. So this guy is saying that Joe Biden is dead also, or that he doesn't exist otherwise. This is a really fucking weird trail to follow right now. People are literally saying Joe Biden isn't real, doesn't exist, he's like the Easter Bunny, or he's dead, or all of the above. What the fuck is going on right now? Are these people literally claiming that Joe Biden does not exist? Seriously, that is what I'm picking up here. I started out trying to be charitable to this guy. I started out saying maybe we misunderstood what he was saying. Second by second here, I'm becoming more and more convinced that he really genuinely believes that Joe Biden is not real. Let's listen to the next clip by Robin Bullock. This one came out really, really recently. It was just a few days ago.
We give prophecies about the president. Okay, Donald J. Trump is the only president. He's the president. Now, I mean, you'd have to be, you just have to, I was born near a tub, but I wasn't born under one.
What the holy fuck does that mean? Is that a saying I've never heard before? I wasn't born under a tub? I don't get it. Is this something I'm missing? Tell me in the comments. I've never heard that saying before. It sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous. Notice how he's desperately trying to convince you that you're the delusional one. That's called gaslighting. Gaslighting is a term that's way overused nowadays, but it's actually a psychology term. It's like a scientific term that refers to people trying to convince you of something that you know for a fact to be false. The term originally came from a movie. I think it came out in the 30s, the 1930s or something. And it was about a woman who was living with an abuser, and he kept changing the light level. They used to use gas to power lights before like electricity was widespread. So they would have a light on the wall that was connected to a gas line, and you would turn the gas up or down to make the flame bigger or smaller, right? So this guy would fuck with the flame. He would make it bigger and he'd make it smaller. And the woman would say, "Are you changing the size of the flame? Are you changing the gas level on the light?" And he'd say, "No, you're crazy. That's not what I'm doing. That's not happening. They haven't changed at all." That's the origin of the term gaslighting. And it made her doubt her own sanity, her own memory. It isn't as simple as just lying to somebody. It's a lot more elaborate than that. And it's an abuse tactic, and it's also a tactic commonly used by cults to make you more malleable, more impressionable, more willing to accept things that you're told, even if you know that they're not true. That's what cults really need you to do. Accept things that are not true. So, anyways, this guy is gaslighting us right now. Pretty hard.
I was born near a tub, but I wasn't born under one. I mean, Donald J. Trump is the president. Okay. All right, he's the president. If we're not right about that, then why did Newsweek jump all over me?
Because you're a who's obsessed with being correct about this when you're just flat out wrong. I don't understand. What's the connection here? Am I missing something?
They jump all over me. And you know what their argument was, Steve? It was something to this effect. The prophets are apologizing, but Robin D. Bullock will not apologize, or some of the other ones. Well, I knew the other ones they were talking about.
Yeah, I assume when he says the other ones, they're the ones that I've been talking about. I guess Newsweek did an article on Robin Bullock, this guy we're looking at here. And I haven't seen the article, but I'm assuming they probably mentioned all of the other big ones. Hank Kunneman, Johnny Enlow, Kat Kerr, and, all the other guys that we've been talking about for a while.
Well, I knew the other ones they were talking about. But notice this. Why did they get so mad because I won't apologize? Because they know he's the president. They know it well as we know it.
No. I'm kind of fucking irritated about the fact that this guy won't admit that he was wrong, but that's because I don't like the fact that he's manipulating people and gaslighting them and lying and trying to cover up his own fuck up, cover up his own mistakes instead of just admitting when he's wrong, like an adult. This guy is an embarrassment, dude. It's so fucking sad. And it's especially disturbing to hear him trying to gaslight people like that. Seriously. Gaslighting is no joke. That's what you do to an abuse victim. That's what cults do to their members. Cody Anglin, Bullock was saying that President Joe Biden is like the Easter Bunny. Still a nut job, but he was saying he doesn't exist as president. Right. That's what I thought too. That would be the charitable explanation. But then we've got a bunch of these QAnoners who believe, just like Robin Bullock, because he is a QAnoner too, who say Biden is dead. And Biden doesn't exist. That's what they're saying. Literally does not exist. The QAnon people are saying Biden doesn't exist. It's just a dead body. It's not real. just like the Clintons and whatever else. I don't think the charitable explanation applies to Bullock because he is a QAnoner. And that's the standard QAnon position. That Biden doesn't exist, literally does not exist. I mean, if you think I'm wrong, then I'm down to hear your take on it. In fact, I'll put this in the clip even. I'll make reference to this super chat in the clip. And if anybody listening here agrees with Cody Anglin, put it in the comments and tell me why you think that Bullock actually meant he doesn't exist as president, but not literally doesn't exist as a human, like the other QAnon people do. Not being generous to Bullock, this is Cody Anglin, but he says in both clips, you can pray for the man Joe Biden, the president, but not the president Joe Biden. That's true. That would be the charitable interpretation, but one could argue he wasn't talking about the Joe Biden that we know and love as the president. One could argue he was saying there are men out there named Joe Biden that you can pray for, but the man that we know as Joe Biden is not the president and doesn't exist. That would be my argument. And honestly, I could agree with you that he wasn't saying that. And I think when I talked about this article originally by Hemant Mehta, I said, I don't think that that's what he means necessarily. But then I saw a bunch of these other videos by Q people saying Joe Biden is dead, Joe Biden isn't real, he's not a real person, it's being run by the cabal and all that other shit. And knowing what I know about Robin Bullock and the fact that he's in QAnon, he's a QAnon believer, that led me to the conclusion that he literally doesn't think that Biden doesn't exist. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just my take. And again, I will put this conversation that you and I have had in the video so that people can decide for themselves and leave comments underneath about it. Maybe you're right. That's just what I think about it.